following video is a rehashing of previous videos I've done, and other people have done them as well. And I'm just going to be doing essentially a slideshow looking up something that are simple. Images taken when this incident happened. A lady died by drowning in one of these water tanks. There are 4 of them on top of the roof, and this is one of the angles taken when they were looking for her and found out that this had happened. I want you to look at the height. If this man stood up, this would be about top of the head level up here. Look at the angle down here. It's about right. That's about how tall it is. This is a view from another angle. They had a ladder propped up against what appears to be this tank here because it was easier to jam a ladder in there to get up on top because they didn't want to jump down from here. I'll show you why in a minute. This is from another angle, and you can see all of this sort of thing, and there was a stair step to go up to it. This is an elevated platform for the water tanks for the Cecil Hotel. This is another angle. We're just going around counterclockwise around that little mini building on top. These are transoms where people could see up to the roof and maybe at an angle, maybe even see the edge of the tanks or this little mini building. And you'll notice that right there in a minute. You'll be noticing that's important. This is basically a simple walkway, a ladder built into this little building section here, and she could have jumped down onto here and gotten into one of the tanks. But let's continue on. This is the clearest image of it, and it shows no obstructions to it at all. This is the photo that would have made people stop assuming things, and nobody got to see it. For whatever reason, people go out of their way to try to create a mystery when there isn't one. Now, one thing that isn't shown in any of these images is the fire escapes. All buildings on every floor at one time, and maybe even currently, have to have fire escapes that make it to where you can, without being restricted by anyone, without requiring a key, permission, or help. You have to be able to exit a building if it's on fire. It's a central conceit that those can also be used in some cases to get up into the building, but they're never under any conditions restricting you from getting down from a building. Also, they almost never restrict you from going on the roof because in some cases, the only way to escape is to go onto the roof of a building and avoid the fire. This is a wide-angle shot, and there's a fire escape there. There's a fire escape on this wall here for this floor on this building, and the other one for this one might be on the other side. And there's a little close-up detail of it. And yes, it goes up here, and there's a door up on here. Now, to keep you from getting on the roof, these are the door panels that are openable for various reasons. But that one right there, that, if I can get it to zoom in, this right here is supposed to be the one that's used. So let's go back and look at our pictures again. Over here? Nope, we have to look a little further over. Let's look for another one. Another. Oh, wait a minute. Look, there's another one. Let's go back further and further. Now we're looking at the side of the building here, and we're not seeing the overhang edge that brings up the fire escape. I was a little annoyed by that at the time, and still am, that a huge amount of work was done to not show that there's a little hole there for it. That's probably another hole for the other side of the building for another fire escape. There's ones over here. You get the idea. And again, one of the images showed that was going on. 2013, January 31st, she was declared to be the day she disappeared and was last seen. Dogs traced her scent trail from her room to a window that connected to the hotel's fire escape. And that had allowed hotel roof access, and it bypassed any alarms on locked doors or stairs. February 1st, CCTV video, supposedly of the day she died, shows color correction anomalies like the hallway being blue at 3 minutes and 17 seconds and red at 3 minutes and 44. On the 19th of the month at 10 a.m., hotel maintenance worker Santiago Lopez looked through the currently open top hatch over a over half full 1,000-gallon water tank on the roof and found she had drowned. To accommodate her removal, the tank was drained and then cut open so everything in the tank came to rest on the bottom and got silt on it. That's what the granular material is. Everyone keeps bringing that up in comment sections. Later on, half of the other water tank lids were also found to be unlocked. So, I mean, they'd either unlocked or left them open or whatever. It wasn't that she'd have any trouble opening it, and she just simply crawled up on the roof with the through the fire escape, then got up on top of that little small building and jumped on top of the tank and looked inside and maybe just fell in head first. Floating in the water and or resting at the bottom of the tank was a wristwatch, a room key, black polka dot Birkenstocks with various markings on them. They're sandals, black men's medium Saxon shorts, black S/P Calvin Klein lace underwear, Alexander Keith's India Pale Ale deer logo on a large green JJM shirt, and a red SX American Apparel zippered hoodie sweatshirt or sweater or hoodie. A detectable amount of alcohol, Sinutab, ibuprofen were in her system, as well as just traces of several medications. And this is indicating also with the amount of pills left in her room that were larger than expected, all of this showed she had stopped taking or was under-medicated for her bipolar disorder depression medications. And she was acting strangely that night. And it doesn't matter whether you think it's some sort of elevator game or she was just kind of spazzing out or whatever. She was unmedicated. She had a lack of anything in her system. She was on Sinutab and ibuprofen and that sort of thing. She probably had a head cold. January. You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life. A Chuck Palahniuk quote she used on her fashion blogs at Etherfields and A Fine View blogspot and her Nouvelle Nouveau Tumblr. Tumblr had an auto-update feature through a queue function that kept updating after she died. So let's get a couple of things straight here. She got on the roof from a fire escape that wasn't restricted or just simply wasn't latched shut. These water tanks are supposed to be latched shut for health reasons, and 2 of them were unlatched. These 2, let's say these 2 were latched and these 2 were not. So they obviously weren't following rules about that. Having one of the fire escapes be unlatched, if it was ever supposed to be latched to the roof, wouldn't surprise me. Next, continually emphasizing that there has to be a mystery because they brought a ladder up here, simply because they didn't want to go up this metal ladder here and then jump down, because that's not practical. Deciding that had to be some mysterious thing where she couldn't have gone on there is people trying to make it to where they can have a mystery to talk about on YouTube and on Facebook. She got on the roof, went around here, looked for a way to get in here, went around here, found the ladder, came up here, and then jumped down there, and then got on top of one of the tanks, opened it, found it was open, and fell in. And right there you can see another one of the fire escape leading to another roof nearby. This is not unheard of. People making it to where it has to be mysterious are people who leave out details and information. So why am I doing this video? I'm seeing people bring this back up because apparently there was a Netflix show about it where they dramatized it. I find that abhorrent. This was solved because someone simply went up on the roof using the fire escape, went over to the stairs, found out that if this was blocked off, it was blocked off later. They could get on these stairs and jump across onto the ladder, and obviously before then it wasn't, because they showed it wasn't. He crawled up in here, jumped on top of the tank, and was able to look down into it. And also jumped down here and looked in there and found out that the opening was still in the water tank. So he could see exactly where the lady was. There's silt at the bottom of every water tank. It's a known thing. If you get an old hot water tank out of a house, it's going to have silt. Mineral content, hard water, that's what happens. There wasn't any mysteries anybody brought up except, well, how did she do this Herculean effort? There wasn't any. People want there to be a Herculean effort or some mystery or something worth paying pay-per-view channels for. There isn't. There wasn't anything mysterious about it except why she did it. And if you're curious why uh, she was found the way she was, look up paradoxical undressing and look up the temperature measurement that day in Los Angeles. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with all that.